Creating a fire effect is a good way to add some dramatic warmth and flair to your sneakers. If there's one thing that all mankind has in common, it's our attraction to fire. I'm not sure if it's the way it flows, how it feels on us, or just how mesmerizing it is to watch. Combining heat with heat is a perfect way to showcase what you get to represent on your beat. With this easy tutorial, I believe anyone can create this effect. Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Austin Torma, but you guys best know me as Jar Customs. Today we're gonna make fire! Not only that we're applying this effect, but we're also gonna add some other elements around this design as well. Elements that just flow with the theme overall. As long as you got an airbrush, some paint, and some sneakers, you'll be able to do this no bueno. Do this effect step by step, understand the flow of fire, and you'll be able to create something like this. Alright, enough talking, and let's dive right into this. So how do we make fire without actually using fire? Understanding the movement will make it less complicated than it sounds. Let's first start off and practice with a couple of streaks on some paper or anything else you have laying around. It could be shoes, parchment paper, paper towels, you name it. Just get whatever you can to practice with it. Think of an S shape, but extend it to an extent, if that makes sense. More of like a snake that's just backwards at times. Also teardrops that kick the flames, and overall you want it to have an elliptical shape through the area with changed perspective movements. Also creating or purchasing the stencil fire kit off my website will help create those sharp edges. The more practice and confidence you build up, the better the outcome will be. And remember, you are painting, so there is no wrong or right way. If you mess up, repaint it that background and start over again. So now let's dive into your base shoe and color. You can use any shoe for this project. For this one, I'm using an all black Air Force 1 high. I think a pair that's all black or majority of it is black will be perfect. If you get a shoe that has different colored panels than black, use those for the burnt effect, which I'll later describe in the video. My recommendation will make the intensity of your design pop, especially with all the red, orange, and yellow colors that will be involved. Let's first start off with creating this red glow effect around those areas and more. Whenever you look at fire, I've always seen a reddish to orange glow that brightens the flames and flares. Don't make that glow solid with your airbrush, otherwise it's not going to capture the movement. Gently pull the trigger back so it can do its magic. Next we'll move forward and create the first layer of flames. Since we did red first, that will be the first color we use. Now we want this to look and feel as realistic as possible, so we'll first start off with white to create the flames. This will help with the vibrancy of the fire effect. Keep going at it to create streaks, but not too much because we'll need to do more layers. After you're all done with that, apply your red paint onto the flames you created. Continue to repeat these actions with the orange and yellow layers. One tip you can focus on is changing the directions of the flames. You don't want them all going the same direction. This will help capture the depth that happens beneath each layer. I chose the Air Force 1 highs to make the fire a good size in that way. It looks better, and the ability to utilize this canvas was nothing but the best. Once you are done with all three colors, go back in with your white color and paint towards the bottom where the fire potentially starts. When you look at fire, at the very bottom of it, it's white and builds up all the way to red, orange, and yellow. Now let's dive into the burning effect. This goes back to the panels that were cut apart in the beginning of the video. I wanted to capture the effect with the swoosh and back tabs were burning off. Carefully mask off the uppers and entire design you just painted with tape so there's no overspray happening. The small but important goal for this shoe was to show off a burning effect. I'm treating these areas to look like paper that's burning off. So I'm choosing 4 colors to do so. First is this creamish color, vachetta, brown, and black. My base color will be the cream to represent that piece of paper. Move on to add some more dents with the vachetta color, and it will help create a path for the burnt effect. Once that's completed, the burnt effect becomes more intense with the dark tones. By doing that, we will put brown in the mix. We'll apply black on the edges, but we'll leave enough room so that we can paint the edges with a burning seam. The burning seam is pretty straightforward. We want to keep the fire lit around the edges, so we'll paint the seam that's yellow, orange, and red. One tip I can give you guys is to start with a pale yellow first rather than white. That's because white takes more time to build up, and since we're using yellow, the pale yellow color is in the middle of the two. I like to layer around the yellow with the other colors on each one so the seam pops, if that makes sense. I don't initially blend them together. You can use a thin and long bristle paintbrush like this Princeton 020 liner, which helped a lot. Lastly, let's add some sparks and add a top protective coat. When fire gets too hot, these tiny sparks flare out. I thought it would be the gravy to the whole concept. Layering the colors again will add the initial pop and dents. Red, orange, and then yellow. Finally, adding a top coat will protect your design at all costs. I decided to go with a satin finish because I wanted to look factory, then dull. Now let's see how these turned out. You might want to wear these. If you made it this far to the end of the video, thank you so much. I just loved how these turned out, and I'm sure you did too. I mean, last little look details that you guys can check them out. Man, I hope today's video was packed with a lot of information that will help make you a better artist and potentially do this effect yourself. Your guys' continuous support has pushed me to make more videos and share to you guys what I'm all about. I appreciate you guys for always tuning in. I know you guys see the shirt. I mean, if you guys want a shirt as well, please go to ServinUpSole.com and shop at Jar Customs. I also want to share that we just hit 1,000 subs here on YouTube, and it's been such a journey. As promised, once I hit that mark, I was going to do a giveaway. So, stay tuned for the next video so I can accumulate the plan for that. Please hit that bell, leave a like, subscribe to my channel so we can continue to grow in the community. Thanks again, guys. Until next time, Servin Up Sole, we're out.